Today we're going to look at a great strategy that we can use to help us with multiplication in third grade. It's the distributive property. Now I know you're thinking that the distributive property usually isn't taught until 6th or 7th grade, but you're going to see that this is a great strategy for third graders to use, and it's going to be a big help when we get to 4th and 5th grade. So let's see how we can use it. If we're looking to solve the problem 8 times 7, one thing that we can do is make an array with 8 rows of 7. Now this is very time consuming, and oftentimes we get mixed up and have to start counting over. But if we think about it this way, 8 times 5 is something that all third grade students know because they're great at skip counting by 5. So if we took 8 by 7 and split it up into 8 times 5, and then looked at what we had left over, which is 8 times 2. So really what we did here is we decomposed the number 7. We split it up into 5 and 2. Now this is going to be a lot easier to solve. So really what 8 times 7 is going to look like is 8 times 5 plus 8 times 2. 8 times 5, we can skip count by 5 real quick in our head, 40, plus 2 8s, double 8, 16. And this is an easy addition problem to do in our heads mentally. 40 plus 16 is 56. So we would know that 8 times 7 is 56. Now at this time in third grade, we want most students to know our facts. So you're wondering, why do they have to know the distributive property? Well, think about this. When we get to 4th and 5th grade, we're going to have some bigger problems. Let me give you an example. Rather than 8 times 7, we may have a problem 13 times 8. Now, I know none of us are remembering our 13 times tables. So how can we use this strategy to help us solve a harder problem? Let's look at the number 13. This is an easy one to decompose and split up. So rather than 13 eighths, we can split 13 into 10 and 3. So now we have 10 groups of 8 plus the other 3 groups of 8, which brings us to 80 plus 24. We put our 8 tens and our 2 tens together for 100, and our ones is 4, so our answer is 104. So you can see how using the distributive property is not only going to help us with our third grade multiplication, but we're going to use it down the line when we get into 4th and 5th grade.